Let's try that again. Take two. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Happy to be here and happy you're here with me. And if you're new here and enjoy this type of content, I hope you'll subscribe. My name is Heather. This is Southern Gals Crochet. Hi, or welcome back. um, okay, so today is an aftermarket recap as well as some new things that I have purchased lately. A little bit of yarn, a little bit of other stuff. Alright, and this would be one of my newest. Look at that hummingbird. That's beautiful. I love it. So pretty. One of my new things. I got a new shipment of a couple of dresses, and 3 of them are already my favorites. Alright. I gotta open this. Never completely prepared. That's me. Hubby, we get in the car and hubby says, "What'd you forget?" I gotta think. Can't think of anything I forgot. Because I forgot. Oh, anyway. So, Saturday's market. Friday evening, we went and sat at our canopy and tables. And when I got there, they gave me a choice of 2 locations. One was right next to the dance stage, music stage, and also right next to the tables where people are sitting and eating. And I was like, I don't know about that. So let's see if I can try to walk you through how the setup was. So when customers come, they have to walk through the store and out the back door, out into the yard behind it. And of course there are people on the porch, people inside, selling stuff, people in the dance hall selling stuff, go out the door, and there's a whole yard full of people selling stuff. So when they go out the door, their view is right there, tables where people are sitting and eating, and the stage behind them. And they wanted to set me up right here under a tree in the shade, which I probably should have took. But I mean, tables of people eating and the sound stage right next to me. I was like, one, the music will be very loud. 2, children, food, sticky hands, yucky hands. That was the biggest reason why I chose not to go in that area. Which probably I should have. So beyond that was a little curved area lined up with people, but off to the side was a little jet that went this way, and they had like 6 vendors over there, and that's where I was. And so Saturday morning we get there, we set up, and I am set up 15 minutes early. Yay me. And then we just sat there for 3 hours almost. Nothing going on. But I chose that spot and there was no moving. So it was just what it was. I will be right back. I forgot my notebook. Alright, so it was approximately 10 o'clock, I think. I'm remembering things, and of course I want to share those with you. I sent hubby a text at 10:45. We had already been at the market an hour and 45 minutes, and I sold $1. This little boy, I guess he's probably 13, 14, something like that, and the girl as well, 13, 14. And they come in, and he says to her, is there anything you want? And she's looking around, and then he turns around and he says, do you have anything for $1? And I showed him those little resin toys that I put in a little bag. And so he bought her a little bag of resin toys for $1. And that was my one and only sale for an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes at least. So, I mean, yeah, it was almost 11 by the time hubby and I were done chatting. So I was still at $1. So 2 hours of my morning was just $1. But it was so cute. He bought his little girlfriend a little bag of toys. So what happened, we found out, was that they were charging people to get in $10. And they quickly realized that that was not working. So they quit doing it. But the problem is they had already put out all those flyers across all the social media accounts saying that it was going to be $10. So all those people who decided not to come because it's going to be $10 had no clue that they had stopped charging $10. So that was sales lost. Now, I'm not saying that the day was a complete waste, because it wasn't, but apparently, because of that $10 charge for the first 3 hours of the day, didn't work, and so they stopped doing it, and then suddenly it started getting busier. Finally, thankfully. Thankfully. So, let me see if I can move some of this stuff off my table area without making too much noise. I have a lot sitting here. Alright, so we're just going to jump right into the market sales. Oh, wait. No. Okay, so they had us off to the side. Later that day, we found out that most people didn't even know we were over there. That was horrifying to hear about. So many people didn't even know there were 6 vendors over that way, which is why I said I probably should have taken that other spot. But it is what it is. Alright, so first thing that sold, other than that little bag of resin toys, $1. The first thing that sold was Toothless. Toothless sold for $35. And also to the same customer, a Grim Reaper for $20. I did intentionally try to keep track of the customers, but when I got to the second page, I completely spazzed out. I don't know. It was too hot. For an October day, boy, it was hot. It was like 95 degrees. Alright, so let's move on. This boy, I was really surprised. I would have not taken him. He was an older boy, like 14, and he wanted a rose. His mom questioned him over and over again. That's what he wanted. Maybe it's for his girlfriend. I don't know. But he wanted a rose. Next sale was to a repeat customer. And I keep forgetting her name. She usually buys frogs from me. She just loves frogs. And I showed her the new frog pattern that I had just purchased. So she is looking forward to some new frogs. But this time she actually bought a snake. Same color as the frog. But yeah, the green and pink snake she bought for $10. Sold one mushroom for $8 and one chicken for $20. And then I sold one resin toys for $1. And then I had this group of people that came in and they looked around, talking. Oh, this is cute. Your work is so great. And this lady, she says, I might have to come back for that chicken. And I was like, okay. And they went down the lane a little bit and turned back around because it was a dead-end lane. And I heard her tell her husband, I might need to come back and get that chicken. Next thing you know, my next customer is her husband. What chicken was she looking at? So he bought her the chicken for $18. That was wonderful. Love it. And then I sold 2 cat toys at $10 each. A wiener dog for $20. Another wiener dog, 2 different customers, for $20. I finally sold that pink sheep for $20. That thing has been, it was sitting at the museum for a while, and I finally took it out of there and took it to market. So the third time at the market, it finally sold. I sold a chill pill for $10. I sold a hair bow to another vendor a couple of booths down, and she put it in her hair immediately and wore it all day long. It was cute. Hair bow for $10. A pickle for $10. On their first day out, I sold a pickle. Was it their first day out? I don't remember. Anyway, sold a chicken for $20. I sold one of those hanging spiders, the purple one, for $25. A sea turtle for $15. a possum for $15, and return the page. Another resin toy for $1, a cactus planter for $10, a ghost for $15, a little Hershey's Kiss for $5, and I sold Frankie my Frankenstein in acrylic yarn. He's been with me a while, and the guy who runs the place, when I first did my first market there, he bought a Longhorn from me. And I told him, I was like, you know, that Frankie, he's going to look real good sitting next to that Longhorn. He goes, yeah, I still got that Longhorn in my office. You know? So he went away, and then about an hour later, he came back. He goes, you're a really good salesperson. So he bought Frankie, my Frankenstein. That was funny. He is a big kid. He's an older gentleman, probably 70 something, but he's just a big kid. Okay, so 2 resin toys for $1 a piece. I sold a chick for $8, a yellow duck for $10, a ladybug for $10, and right at the last minute, I'm already starting to pack up. It is 5:45, and one of the girls brought her mom over because they were another vendors, and her mom bought a washcloth and a duck. A washcloth for $5 and a duck for $10. And there you go. I made $404. Not bad considering the first 2 hours was nothing but $1. So not bad. I was expecting a lot more. There was just so many things that they did differently this year that I think hurt our sales. I don't know how a lot of the other vendors did, but the ones right next to me, yeah, didn't do so well. The lady right next to me on my left, she sold 1 item for the whole day. She barely got her booth fee back. That was it. And the lady next to me over here had jams and jellies, and I think she did pretty well. She always had people at her booth most of the time, so I think she did pretty well. Even I went over there and looked around because there's jams and jellies, you know. All right, so for the breakdown, let's see what we got here. Sorry about that. My my disc ran out of room. So that particular market was $40, and I had estimated that I would make around $500, and that was based on last year's event. Last year's event was over $700, so I gave myself an estimate of around $500. Well, obviously we did not reach $500. So $404, and that was 212 square and 192 cash. So it was almost right down the middle. Almost. And I paid hubby $55, which he was like, woo! He was happy. And that gave me a profit of $309, which based on the last 5 markets, that's the best I've done in a while. Yeah, that was 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 markets. So I guess we can't complain too bad. That was 33 items. And of course, the top seller, not in money wise, that's for sure, but the top seller was the resin toys, 5 of them. And then I had a whole bunch of 2 of this, 2 of that, 2 of it, you know. Let's see. I did spend $12 on some lunch. That was some very expensive lunch. Very expensive. But, I mean, I got up at 5:30 in the morning and had breakfast by 6. So, by 11 o'clock, I was hungry. What's to eat? Because this show was from 9 to 6. And that's a long show. And so anyway, I did end up buying some food. And of course, like I said, it was 95 degrees, but thank goodness there was a breeze. And I didn't mean to rhyme, but that's okay. Anyway, and so I just wanted to go over this. I've been keeping a log of my bestsellers throughout the year, and of course, scrubbies are still number 1, even though I didn't sell a single scrubby. And strawberries are number 2, but I still didn't sell any strawberries. But sea turtles, still number 3. Nothing's really changed except for the resin toys have now got into my top 20 items. But I only have a small limited amount of those. I'm just trying to get rid of them so they're not a permanent feature in my booth, even though I'm starting to think maybe they should be. But yeah, anyway, so that leaves me with a definite list of things I need to get done. And I've been working my booty off ever since I got home. But I had to take a break to make a video. Alright. A couple of things that have come in the mail. I did take the suggestion from the comments to buy these little toy rattles. And I made 2 cat toys the other day and used these for the first time. And yes, it really does make a huge difference. So now, what am I going to do with all those bells that I bought? I have like 20 bells left. I don't know what I'm going to do with those bells. But I did buy the little rattle, even though it is a noisemaker and my sensory is like, ugh, don't like it. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing I purchased that I I got a whole bunch of them, not on purpose. I I wanted specific ones that were in this group, but you could only get the group. So I wanted these little tags where it's a sale, where I can put, like these items are currently on sale, or these items are brand new. I have that question come up a lot. And, like I have repeat customers and they're anything new. So, new. And, let's see, another one also says new, but it says new arrival. But they come in these big packages and, they are a little thick and sturdy, but I think there's like 50 in a package. I hear it'll take me a long time to use these. So there's that one, and that one, and that one. And those are just the special ones that I wanted. The hot item. Just like bestseller. These are bestsellers. And this one I probably won't never use. Promotion. Can't think of anything I would use that one for. But it also came with an empty one. You can just write whatever you want to. And then it came with all these different ones with different colors. So, like, I have a lifetime of cards here. I don't know what I'm going to possibly use them all for. I have no idea. But I wanted a few of them, and I ended up having to get the whole set. And so there you go. That is a new thing. I also wanted to do some new pricing in my booth. Apparently, I price tag everything, and then when they buy it, I take the price tag off and I put it in my little bin, and that's how I keep track of what sold, as well as my little chart. But sometimes I just stack them up until I can write them down in the chart and then put them in the bin, because it might be too busy. This is going to be noisy, I think. I'll try not to be too noisy. I didn't open this ahead of time, so live opening. Okay, so these are, they don't look like much right now, but when you take the film off, they are little acrylic price tag, so that you can just set, this basket is $10, this basket is $5, so forth and so on. Because so many times I get asked, how much is this, or how much is that, and it's like everything has its own price tag. My hair is bugging me. Anyway, so everything has its own price tag. So that's working for me, but not working for the customer. So I bought some of these, and we'll see how that works out. Alright, so that's 3 items down. And then the next item is just some new tags. But I finally found some that didn't come with, they look like they're a little smaller though, but they didn't come with strings. which I end up having to cut off anyway, so it's just a waste. But yeah, these are a little bit smaller, but that's okay. That's okay. We can handle it. We better be able to handle it, because this is a lot in this box. Alright, and I have one chicken yarn that I use, one particular yarn that I use for my chickens, and it's the cream speckled burlap blanket. And I only have a small little ball left of it, so I was like, I'm gonna order some more, right? And I went searching around and found it on Amazon for a pretty good price. And I get my package. I got my package. I opened up my package. What is in my package? That's not speckled cream. What is that? I get the paper out. It says speckled cream. Turns out they sent me what did they send me? It's pretty. I have to admit, it is pretty. It's mallard wood. It's a pretty teal and brown variegated. Two of them. So, of course, I contacted them and said, you know, this is not what I ordered. And they gave me the option of sending it back. And I said, nah. It's too much hassle for me to go all the way to town just to send back 2 little skeins of yarn. Pretty yarn. But by the time that came, it was already back available on Michael's. So, we ordered some from Michael's. That has not come in yet. Alright, I'm going to have to pause. We're running out of battery. Okay, so, a couple more things left. Now that we've replaced the card and we've replaced the battery, we can finally get to the end of this. Alright, so while I was also looking for the speckled cream, I was also looking on Michael's for their version of this Big Twist Baby Bear in, I can't read it, cloudy gray, which Big Twist quit making it a while back. And of course, Michael still hasn't picked up this color yet. This is my favorite go-to color for possums. This is my very last bit of it. This is it. That's all there is. So, considering how often I have to make possums, this has got me a little nervous. So I'm wondering what y'all think about, if I can find the end. I don't know if I can. Let's see. I'm wondering if I double strand this gray skinny Chanel, which is still just a little bit lighter than what I've been using. I'm wondering what you think about that versus, where are you? Here we go. Yeah, it kind of looks still quite a bit smaller. I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm hoping double-stranded will work. Kind of looks like it might. Anyway, that's all I've got. I don't know. Other than that, just switching over to Posh yarn, but that will make some big possums, and I know everybody really loves the smaller possum. So, what do you think? A good substitute? I hope so. I hope so. I'll have to make one up and show you the difference before I run out of this one. Anyway, so that one got me a little frazzled. Hopefully that'll be a good substitute, because it looks like I only have about, I would say 4, maybe 5 possums left in this, and that's it. It's gone. So, starting next year, I'm going to have a new possum, probably. Alright, and then some goodie mail came in. I already opened it because I completely forgot what I ordered. Because, you know, Premiere, it does take probably about 2 weeks, right about 2 weeks to get here. And somebody, I'm not going to mention any names, you know, but somebody mentioned goblin yarn, the color goblin, in Parfait Chunky. And I was like, I have to go look that up. So, yes, I had to go get me some Parfait Chunky goblin. Apparently, it's the hottest color of the season right now, because everybody seems to find it sold out. So I got lucky. It was not sold out. So I got me 5 skeins of this color. What I'm going to use it for, I don't know. So if you got suggestions, I just love it. It's a pretty, 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 pretty green color. I love green. So it's so pretty. It's because I'm a May baby. I love green. Anyway, I also picked up this really gorgeous, it says peach, but kind of reminds me of like a flamingo color. Not a bright flamingo, but you know, like a regular flamingo. The bird. And of course, I got 5 of each of these colors, and I bought this one just because, oh my god, it's so pretty. What am I going to use it for? Probably turtles. That's usually what I use my Parfait Chunky for, is turtles. But then I got this color. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but the sand that I've been using for my sloths, I am almost out of that, so I figured I better find an alternative. So I'm going to start making some smaller sloths. And so that was my good happy mail yesterday. I was like, ooh, it's yarn. I love it when yarn comes in. I do have a shipment coming in from Hobie. I had a couple of skeins that I needed from there, and of course I still have some items just the speckled yarn coming from Michael's. I think it's just a speckled yarn. Lord knows what I purchased over there. So, yeah, you never know what I've purchased on Michael's. I was trying really hard not to purchase any yarn, but it's inevitable. In the business that we're in, it's inevitable. So, this morning, I know this is going to be a long video. This morning I did do this. I got my fall schedule done for November and December. I put it in an acrylic sleeve, and I put this on my tabletop where they check out, so that they can always see where I'm going to be next. And this has been probably the best idea I have had, is having a schedule right there for my customers to see where to find me next. And so I got this one done today. And yeah, I think it came out pretty cute. Not too overwhelming, just cute. So anyway, I love that idea. It's been working for me. I've had people take pictures of my schedule. I've had people, oh, you're going to be here? Oh, I just live down the road from there. So it's been good. And then I've even had people like, oh, I didn't even know they had a market out there, so. And then, of course, I picked up some special orders. I have a guy who wants a pig for his girlfriend, a black and white pig. So that'll be interesting. I have a lady who is absolutely going to come see me next Saturday at my next location, so she can buy some things that she saw. She was another vendor, and she saw what I had, but she hadn't gotten paid, and she wasn't making very many sales, so she wanted to wait till she got paid to come get some stuff. And then I get home, I get on the computer, I do my little charts and tallies and all of that, right? And I lay down for a little bit. I come back to the computer, and there is a message from one of my customers who bought the toothless. The toothless got ate by a dog. Well, battery number 3. Let's see. Let's see if this will last a little while. Anyway, so yes, her dog got a hold of the toothless and literally tore the eye out of the head, chewed up the eye to where it had big scratches in it and chunks taken out of it, and chewed a big hole in the leg. And she wanted to know if I could repair it. So this is before I found out that the eye was completely destroyed. I was thinking, well, if you still have the eye and the back is still, good, then I can just, make a new head and put the eye back in, But no, the eye is destroyed. She sent me a picture, and I'm not going to show you the carnage because it was bad. It was bad. But yeah, I told her, I was like, it would take a lot of repairing to do it, and it would probably be just as much as making a new one would be. And I haven't heard back from her since. We went back and forth, talking back and forth for 2 days, trying to see if it was repairable. by the time she got through sending me pictures and telling me that she threw the eye away, it was so badly damaged, I was like, yeah, it would just be better to make a new one, start from scratch. And I haven't heard from her. I offered her a discount price just, because, oh my God, he didn't even get to enjoy it one day. So, but no, she hasn't contacted me back. So I don't know. I was trying to be generous, which of course, that's just me. I felt so bad. But then again, I'm like, I'm still back to that point where I don't like knowing what happened to the toy after it left my hands. It's just, it's horrible. He's he's been torn to pieces. Alright, well, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a very long video, a lot of editing, and a lot of time to load to YouTube. So, I guess I better go ahead and let you go. I appreciate you sticking around and hanging out with me, and I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.